So in this lecture, I'll discuss the residential status of individuals. So compared to other types of assesses, determining the status of residential status of individual is bit complicated, I should say. Okay, so for the ease of understanding, I have classified the individuals into four categories. So three categories pertains to Indian citizens and one category pertains to foreign citizens. Okay, since the provision is very clumsy, I tried my level best to give to present the answer in a classified way so that we can have a clear understanding of the provision. Okay, so the first category of people is outgoing people who lives India. The second category of people is incoming people who comes on a visit to India, and the third category other citizens. Third category other citizens. So this other citizens means neither they are coming to India nor or otherwise they are leaving outside India, but any other purpose, but not these two purpose. They are leaving India, but not for these two purpose, but for some other purpose, or they are staying in India only. They are neither leaving India nor coming to India. This third category of Indian citizens, and this fourth category pertains to foreign citizens. Okay, right. So the category one, residency status of category one, that is so for the purpose of understanding, have given crew or employment short forms. Okay, so these people may become a resident by satisfying either of these two reasons. Okay, so reason one and reason two. The difference is that if the category one people becomes a resident by satisfying reason one, there is a chances that he may be a resident but not ordinary resident. He may be a resident but not an ordinary resident. So if you satisfied if you get subtracted any one of these two negative conditions, if you get subtracted any one of these two negative conditions, he will be a resident but not ordinary resident. I observed many people are presenting these two conditions in a reverse manner and saying that if both the conditions are satisfied, it is resident and ordinary resident. If one of the condition is not satisfied, it is a resident but not ordinary resident. No, that is not the correct way of reading. That is not the correct way of reading. This is what is the way it is presented in the act, and this is what is the way as presented in the ICA board materials. Okay, therefore I advise the students to read the provisions as given in the act. Don't change the provisions in a way which is comfortable to you. Okay, so therefore these two conditions may be bit different if you observe with other people. So but I am taking what is given in the act. Okay, so if he satisfies this one positive condition, resident, but he gets subtracted any one of these two negative conditions, he is a resident but not a ordinary resident. But if at all he is a resident by satisfying the reason two, if at all he is a resident by satisfying the reason two, there is no chance of becoming resident and ordinary resident. Always he is a resident and not ordinary resident. No need to check the negative conditions. No need to check the negative conditions. So if a person becomes a resident by satisfying these two conditions, always he is a resident but not ordinary resident. No need to check the negative conditions. Okay, right. Next, residential status of category 2 people. So this category 2 people is incoming people who normally stays outside India. They are citizens of India only. They are citizens of India or persons of Indian origin. So normally they stay outside India, but occasionally on a visit they came to India. So this is second category of people. So the second category of people also the same thing. Reason one and reason two. Reason two, if he becomes a resident, there is a chance of not ordinary resident. Reason two, there is no need to check the negative conditions. Always resident but not ordinary resident. But one point what is added here is that if the two conditions are there, total income other than income from foreign sources exceeds 15 lakhs and not liable to tax in any other country. These two conditions are there. In addition to those two conditions, remaining conditions also are other two conditions also there. Four conditions to be satisfied. First one is aggregate stay in India during the previous year is 120 days or more, but less than 182 days. Logically, because if it is 180 days, obviously it comes under the first reason. He comes under first reason. Therefore, 120 days or more, but less than 180 days. This word I have inserted, not there in the act, but I have inserted. It's a common sense, logical. Because if you satisfied 182 days, obviously it comes under the reason one. Therefore, 120 days or more, but less than 182 days. And remember, this is under. And aggregate stay in India during the 4 preceding previous years. What is PPY? Preceding previous years. Current previous year, relevant previous year, ignore the relevant previous year and go back the 4 previous years. So 4 preceding previous years is 365 days or more. 365 days or more, and total income other than foreign income exceeds 50 crores and not liable to tax in other countries due to residential status. If all these four conditions are satisfied, if all these four conditions are satisfied, he is always a resident but not ordinary resident. Okay, this is second category, residential status of category 2 people. And third category of people, other Indian citizens, not a crew of member, not a crew member of Indian ship, not going outside India for employment, not coming on a visit to India. Other than these three, other Indian citizens. So other Indian citizens, they can become a resident by satisfying any one of these three conditions. They can become a resident by satisfying any one of these three conditions. So first condition, 182 days or more. Second condition, 60 days or more during the current relevant previous year, and 365 days or more during the preceding previous year, during the four preceding previous years. And these two conditions. Observe the second and third category of people. In the second category of people, all the four conditions to be present at a stage. All the four conditions to be present at a stage. But here we have divided the four conditions into two parts. Either these two conditions or these two conditions. When compared to the second category of people, all the four conditions at a time to be satisfied to claim the resident status. But here these two conditions are separate and these two conditions are separate. And moreover, this is not 120, this is 60 only. This is not 120, this is 60 only. Same conditions, instead of 120 will take 60 days, and all the four conditions will divide into two parts. That's it. But these first two reasons, category 3 people, if they became resident by satisfying either reason 1 or reason 2, there is a chances that they may become not ordinary resident if you get subtracted any one of these two negative conditions. Any one of these two negative conditions, if you get subtracted, there is a chances of not ordinary resident. But if a person is a resident by satisfying reason 3, then always he is a resident but not ordinary resident. No need to check the negative conditions. This is category 3 people. Now coming to the category 4, residential status of category 4 people. So category 4 people, two reasons, 182 days or more, 60 days plus 365 days. These first two reasons will come as it is. Category 4 people, these first two reasons will come as it is. 182 days or 60 days or more and 365 days. 60 days or more and 365 days. These first two reasons will come as it is, and the reason 3 will not be there. That's it. So, but the same thing, as if same thing. So we have to check the negative conditions. If any one of these two negative conditions gets subtracted, they will become resident but not ordinary resident. Therefore, category 4, what we should do? We just simply ignore this reason 3. That's it. Category 4, we should simply ignore reason 3. That's it. Remaining is same. Category difference between category 3 and category 4, there is no reason 3 at all. Completely ignore reason 3 and just check reason 1 and reason 2. And what is the difference between category 2 and category 3? Category 2, all the four conditions at a time. Category 3, two conditions separately, two conditions separate. If these two conditions are satisfied, fine, no. Or if these two conditions are satisfied, that's also fine. But the difference here, it is 120 days, here it is 120 days, and here it is 60 days. Okay, right. So this is the way I have classified the residential status of individual, 4 categories of people. In the coming lectures, we'll discuss the problems based on these 4 categories of people.